Order, please. Before we proceed with the cases, I have the guidelines that I need to read. This is a public hearing, and we are the Zoning Board of Adjustments for Putnam County, Florida. We operate under the authority of Articles 11 and 12 of the Land Development Code as amended. The primary responsibility of the board is to hear and decide appeals challenging final determinations made by the Planning and Development Services Department under the Land Development Code, and to hear and act upon requests for variances, special use permits, non-conforming use determinations, and preliminary development plans under the Land Development Code. A variance is a relaxation of the requirements of the zoning code in a particular case where, because of unusual circumstances, a literal enforcement of our zoning code would result in undue or unnecessary hardship. The zoning code permits us to authorize variances only for height, size of structure, size of yards, and open spaces. If we grant a variance, we may impose reasonable conditions on the use of the property, which must be satisfied if the variance is to remain valid. The standards we use in determining whether or not to grant a variance are listed in Section 45-833 of the Land Development Code. A special use permit is special permission to use property in a fashion which the zoning classification of the property does not automatically permit. If we grant a special use permit, we may impose reasonable conditions on the use of the property, which must be satisfied if the special use permit is to remain valid. Unlike a change in the zoning classification, as a general rule, a special use permit applies only to the specific use requested in the application for a special use permit. The standards we use in deciding whether or not to grant a special use permit are listed in Section 45-1083 of the Land Development Code. Procedurally, we will call each case by name and number. A member of the staff will then briefly explain to us the nature of each request. We will then take any comments from the applicant or their representative, followed by any public comments concerning the request. Please direct all comments or statements to the board and not to other people in the audience. Before speaking, we will ask each person to be recognized, come forward to the lectern, and identify his or herself by name and address. After all persons wishing to speak have been heard, we will entertain a motion from the board. This motion will be voted on by the board members and become our final order. Any decision made by this board can be appealed to the circuit court. However, any appeal must be filed within 30 days after the Board of Adjustments has rendered the final order which is being appealed. Are there any questions? Okay, before the first case is heard, all of those wishing to speak today need to be sworn in, so will the notary please administer the oath? He's not done speaking. Okay, the first case today is Special Use Permit 22-003.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, board members. Yeah, this is special use permit 2020 or 22-003. It's a special use permit. The applicant is Stephen and Kelly Speaks at 120 Raintree Woods Trail, Placa, Florida. Their future land use designation is urban reserve, and the zoning district is agricultural. Subject parcel is 1.14 acres. They're just simply requesting a special use permit to allow a second bedroom on an accessory dwelling unit. Section 45-110, sub 6 of the LDC allows for accessory dwelling units within residential zoning districts on parcels of 1 acre or more, if not on central water or sewer. As mentioned earlier, they're at 1.14 acres. There's also a provision within this section that requires a special use permit for a second bedroom. Proposed accessory dwelling unit meets all the other standards within this section, and providing supplementary standards for accessory dwelling units. Here's an aerial of the location. It's predominantly residential in nature. The zoning is agricultural. And sorry, that is not the best picture for a future land use map, but as believe that's urban reserve. Yeah, sorry, this is the urban reserve land use. So per section 45-1083 of the Land Development Code, the Zoning Board of Adjustment is to evaluate the application and make a determination based on specific findings of fact provided to you in your staff report. Section 45-1106 also provides for additional supplemental criteria for accessory dwelling units, which include that the accessory dwelling unit is located on the same lot as the principal structure or single-family dwelling, as a minimum 1 acre lot size if they're not located with central water and sewer. There's no more than one accessory dwelling unit permitted on a parcel. Primary residence must be conventional or modular home, can't be modular home. And can be no smaller than 400 square feet, no bigger than 1,000 square feet. And they are limited to one bedroom unless a second bedroom is approved through a special use permit. Upon approval of the special use permit, the applicant will be required to meet all requirements set forth in the Land Development Code. Any conditions that may be added by the board. Staff has added 2 conditions provided you in the staff report, and staff's recommends approval of this, and the applicant and myself are here to answer any questions.
You asking me if we had any questions? Well, you finished? I missed it. I thought you were still talking. Okay, any questions from the board? No. Okay, all right. There's no questions from the board, then we will hear from the applicant. I tell you what, let's do a site visit before we hear from the applicant. Site visit roll call.
Earl Valentine,
Yes.
Mark Fisher,
Yes.
Ed Killebrew,
Yes.
Linda Osborne,
Yes.
Mary Ratliff,
Yes.
TJ Smith,
Yes.
Linda Broussard,
Yes.
Ron West,
Yes.
Amy Stanton.
Yes.
Okay, would the applicant, Mr. Speaks, like to come forward and speak to the group? Oh, you were the one that declined to take the oath, okay? All right, so I guess if Mr. Speaks is not coming forward, is there any, since there's no one else in the audience except another person, is there anyone wishing to come forward and speak in favor and/or opposition in this application? No one is coming forward at this time, so I guess we will close it to the public and open it up for board discussion and motion.
Madam Chair, I spoke to Mr. Speaks at length while I was out there,
Okay,
and pretty much what he wants to do is listed right in here. So, I mean, he's pretty much cut and dry. And for that reason, I move that we approve special use permit 22-003 as request meets the criteria for a special use permit as required by section 45-1083 of the Putnam County Land Development Code, with all the conditions listed by staff, and authorize the chair to sign the final order.
Second.
who's going to take dibs on it? Okay, we have a motion and second to approve special use 22-003. Is there any further discussion? If none, all in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, all opposed, motion carries 9-0. Okay, Mr. Speaks, there is a 30-day appeal process, so since there's nobody here complaining, I guess if you have any issues, please work closely with staff. And thank you. Okay, the next one is variance 22-002.
Once again, for the record, Joseph Searley, Planning and Development. This is variance 22-002. Give me a second here. I have enough. This is an application by Lawrence R. Knoll. The location is at 883 West River Road. Has a future land use designation of rural residential and a zoning district of R2. The subject parcel totals .17 acres. It's a 62 by 100-foot lot that is a vested lot within the St. James Harbor Unit 2 subdivision. It doesn't meet the minimum lot size for its correlating zoning designation, but it's determined to be vested due to its, it was platted in 1968 prior to the adoption of the Putnam County Land Development Code. Lots were placed in 1970 here, but that's incorrect. The applicant's requesting a variance to allow encroachment into the front yard setback. In the R2 zoning district, it's 25 feet. They're wishing to go to 13 feet to allow for the replacement of a mobile home. The existing mobile home is the exact same footprint, encroaching approximately 13 feet. And then the new mobile home is slightly larger in comparison to the 480 square foot one that's there now. It's 742 square feet. The location of the septic tanks and drain fields in the rear of the property limit the location of the mobile home and pushes the new mobile home to the front of the property into the required front yard setback. Additionally, speaking with the Department of Environmental Health, there's a 5-foot setback requirement from a drain field. That's all in the rear of the property. Other locations evaluated by staff indicate that there would be a need for a variance as well. So the footprint he has it in now is pushes it into the front setback. Locating it horizontally would push it into the side setbacks because you only get a 62-foot width lot. Here's an aerial of the parcel. As you can see, these are very small lots located within this subdivision, but it's predominantly residential. There's commercial across the street. As I said, predominantly the zoning is residential 2, drawing the parcel. Future land use is rural residential with that commercial parcel across the street. So once again, upon approval of the special use permit, the applicant will be required to meet all requirements set forth in the LDC, and any conditions may be added by the board. Staff recommends approval subject to 2 conditions that are provided for you in the staff report, and myself and the applicant are here to answer the questions.
Okay, I have a question. Is the current mobile home that's there, is it going to be removed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, they can put the new one on before they have to remove the old one, or vice versa?
I believe they'd have to remove it, demo it first, and then replace it with the new
Okay.
home.
And given the limited space there, it'd probably be very difficult to keep it on site. I believe there is an allowance for a very temporary usage of the old mobile home while the new one's being
in
installed,
place.
so that the person has a place to live during the transition. But certainly, they're not going to be able to keep the old mobile home under any circumstances.
Okay, okay, just double checking. Okay, any questions from the board for staff? Okay, Linda.
The old mobile home is gone, isn't that correct? It's already gone.
Okay, just, okay, before, okay,
The proposed shed they were talking about has been installed already.
by the new shed. Well, there's a mobile home that was right next door, so I didn't know if that was the old existing, okay, then that's
Where the two
2 piles of dirt and everything, and then the new shed.
mobile home was
Okay. Wow, it's awful close to the other one. Okay,
buried.
okay. Any other questions? If not, let's do a site visit roll call.
Earl Valentine,
Yes.
Mark Fisher,
Yes.
Ed Kilgore,
Yes.
Linda Osborne,
Yes?
Mary Ratliff. Yes. TJ Smith. Linda Bizarre,
Yes.
Ron West,
Yes.
Amy Stanley.
No.
Okay, Mr. Knoll, would you like to come up and address the board? For the record, please state your name and address.
My name's Lawrence Arnold. Address is 883 West River Road, Palaca.
Anything you would like to add to the report or to what the staff had to say?
I've taken every measurement I could possibly take to get this mobile
put the-
home onto the property.
Put the mic in a little bit more in front. There you go, thanks.
I've taken every measurement I could possibly take to get this mobile home installed onto the property. I wasn't aware of where the septic tank was when I bought the mobile home. You know, and the gentleman that was doing the installation pointed out to me that they was not going to be able to install the mobile home with the 25-foot front easement in the spot where the original mobile home was because of the septic system, the septic tank, where the septic tank is. And if I'd moved the mobile home over, I'd be encroaching on the neighbor's property next to mine, which would take the easement away, the 10-foot easement away on either side. So I'm sort of in a bind on how the mobile home goes in. You know, and like I said, there's just no mobile home on there, and I'm in limbo right now.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Knoll? Okay, well, thank you, sir. Oh, at this time, I'm going to ask the same question. Is there anyone wishing to come forward and speak in favor? Or anyone wishing to come forward and speak in opposition? No one is coming forward, so we will close it to the public and open it up for board discussion and motion.
Madam Chairman, I move we approve variance 22-002 as it meets the criteria for a variance that is required by section 45-833 of Putnam County Land Development Code with the two conditions recommended by staff and authorize the chair to sign the final order.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve variance 22-002. Is there any further discussion? If none, all of those in favor, please indicate by raising your right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. All opposed? Motion carries 9-0. Okay, so good luck in your endeavor, and hope you soon have a home to rest your head. Okay, the next thing left is the minutes for,
Old business and new business and then minutes.
and then, well, is there any old business or new business today?
I'm old.
You're old. Okay, all right.
Would you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
No, he was being funny.
Oh, okay.
I said any old business or new business in the comment, so.
Oh.
Anyway, so that was, I guess, no old business or new business. All right, so we have the minutes for February the 16th, 2022. Has everybody had a chance to read them? Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of February 6th.
I'm sorry, my mic wasn't on.
Oh, your mic wasn't on. Well, I heard you. February 16th, 2022. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries 9-0. Okay, I guess if there's no old business or new business, we
Madam
will-
Chair,
Yes, sir.
may I make an announcement?
Oh. Yes.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt. Just wanted to announce that the RFP process for the Land Development Code rewrite is ongoing. There was a pre-proposal meeting held a few weeks ago, and there were a few applicants who showed up who will, in theory, be submitting bids for the RFP. So just wanted to update the board on that process. Once that is awarded by the Board of County Commissioners to the particular firm that is elected by the BOCC, we'll be having many stakeholders meetings in each of the districts. So obviously, we can't have all of the ZBOA show up at one meeting, even two can't show up without advertising it, but I would encourage active participation among the members of the Zoning Board of Adjustments as well
Okay.
in this process.
And I have an announcement that I should have made. We have a new board member, Amy Stanley, and Amy is from Melrose also. So welcome aboard. Okay? Anything else then? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, we stand adjourned.